everyone, welcome back to the Car Talk. So today I'm out in my new car, which is the Porsche Cayenne S. It's not so new, I've had it for about 3 months now, so I think now's the time to do a proper owner's review. What the car's like to live with as a daily, what it's like as a performance car. Also, you don't buy a Porsche Cayenne if you don't want to have some type of performance with it. So what the performance is like on it, we're going to do some 0 to 60s. On paper, Porsche say it does it in 5.2. We're going to try and beat that, see what we get. The interior review, exterior review, and just overall what's next for the car, what I like, what I don't like, and go from there. So yeah, enough talking now, let's get right into it. So first things first, the kind of technical aspects of the car. So the Porsche Cayenne S is the 2.9 litre V6 twin turbo engine, which pushes out a very respectable 440 brake horsepower. It's not the quickest model out there. They've also got a GTS, which is slightly quicker, and also the turbo. But I think, you know, this is a daily car, hits the spot with some good punch in it as well. You know, it's very, very punchy. As soon as you put your foot down, it wants to go. It's always pulling. I haven't actually been disappointed by the performance coming out from the stage 1 M3 I had. I thought this would be a massive kind of decrease in performance, but if I'm honest with you, it's very fun to drive. And I had a Macan GTS that was great. I would say overall wise, this does perform better. It definitely feels better when you're taking corners, when you're putting your foot down. It feels more aggressive. So yeah, overall wise, you know, this Porsche Cayenne S, I think it's probably the sweet spot in the range. Obviously you've got the turbo. If you want absolute madness, you want pure violence, go for the turbo. But I think this Cayenne S is very respectable. From an SUV, you get everything you need of it as well. So yeah, I think I made the right choice of this one. And yeah, the numbers itself, as I say, 440 brake horse, 5.2 0 to 60 on paper. We'll see if we can beat that. But yeah, overall I think it does as an SUV. It ticks most of the boxes. So in terms of the exterior of the car, I mean, it's very Porsche, especially from the front. You know, all Porsches pretty much look identical from the front, and the Cayenne hasn't lost its characteristics at all from the front. So, you know, you've got the LED light, the 4 LED lights on each light on each light bracket. You know, the bonnet looks the same. You can put this bonnet on any Porsche and it wouldn't look out of place. But where the Cayenne has really changed is more so the back. Now you have the LED strip. It looks a lot more kind of aggressive. It looks more, it's got like a more compact shape to it, and I think, you know, the back for me works very well, you know, and I think overall that is a nice modernized finish of the car. This car is black, and it's got the black package on it as well, so everything's blacked out apart from the wheels. So you've got the black window trims, the black roof rails, you've got the pan roof, all the details at the front is in black. The LED light is the tinted version, so it doesn't have the red strip without the light's not on. So it's got that nice aggressive look to it as well, and it's finished to perfection. When I came to speccing a Cayenne when I did the Porsche online configurator, this is pretty much the spec I would have done for the exterior. Ticks all the boxes. The only thing it's missing, which could be coming soon, is black wheels. Now I'm not a fan of any other wheel colour apart from black, so they will most likely be changing soon. But from the outside, this car has personality. It looks aggressive, and it has massive road presence as well. So exterior wise, ticks all the boxes. Is what you'd expect from a Porsche, especially the new models. And yeah, the exterior I couldn't be happy with, really. I don't think there's anything missing. Let me know in the comments if there's anything you would change on this exterior apart from obviously the wheels. You might love the wheels. Let me know if you think the wheels work well with it. But yeah, exterior wise, massive thumbs up. And for me, I wouldn't have got the car if I wasn't happy with the exterior as well, the colour. So the interior of the Porsche Cayenne, the new model, the one I've got is it's, I have to say, it's a very special place to be. The interior cabin feels luxurious. It feels modern. You have everything you need in here as well. So the touch screen works very well. I know some touch screens are a bit clunky. This one is very easy to navigate around and do what you need to do. But even better is, and if you've owned a Porsche you know this, is on your steering wheel you've got 2 balls to the left and to the right, one on each side. and you can pretty much flick through all your options on the dash. You've got a massive map on there if you need to have a map. You can pretty much do everything you want right in front of you on the dashboard, so you don't really need to be playing around with this too much. You can probably do all that when you're stationary, you don't have to worry about doing that when you're driving. So I think interior wise, the finish is remarkable. Yeah, with the gear stickers, you've got your touch buttons down here as well, where you can do things like your heated seats, which is easy to do. Temperature, you've got all your gadgets and your buttons down here as well, which is, you know, all finished to high quality. And this car as well, interior wise, came spec'd pretty much how I'd want to spec it. It's got everything you need. It's got the heated seats, it's got the Sports Chrono package, which is an absolute must. Do not ever buy a Porsche without Sports Chrono package. What's the point? If I saw a Porsche without a Sports Chrono, when I see Porsches without Sports Chrono, I don't bother. What's the point? You're buying a sports car to be a sports car, or a sports SUV to be a sports SUV. If you don't have the Sports Chrono, then forget about it. And the real good thing about the Sports Chrono and the new Porsches is you get this little button here on the steering wheel where you can change the modes: Sports, Sports Plus, Individual. And then you also get the button here which you press, and it gives you 20 seconds of absolute madness, which, yeah, is a must. When you want to have some fun, you press that button for 20 seconds. If you want to do overtakes, press that button and the car takes off. So absolutely get Sports Chrono. I'm trying to think of what else it has that I would have spec'd really. I think, you know, it came with adaptive cruise control. I've never actually had that before, but that does work really well. If you want to be lazy on the motorway, you set it, it brakes, accelerates depending on the speed limit you set and how close or how far away the cars are in front of you. So I think, you know, it's a perfect daily driver, family car, chilling car. But then when you want to put in Sports Plus, when you want to press the button and unleash it, it performs as a very, very high performing SUV as well. So yeah, it's literally one of the best SUVs I've been in. I'm not just saying that, I've been in a lot of SUVs. This one, and probably why I picked it, ticks the majority of the boxes. The only thing I think that is missing from the interior, which I would have picked, is the ambient lighting. And what this does is, and what most modern cars now have, is, you know, nice little lighting around the doors, around the center consoles, in the footwells, up on the roof. What this one offers is different colours. So you got white, you got blue, purple, orange, red, whatever you want. And I was in a Porsche Cayenne coupe, and it had it, and it did look exceptional at night. This one unfortunately doesn't, and at night it gets a bit boring with just your standard lights. You know, you got no real colours, doesn't really come to life. So I would say if you're speccing out a Porsche, definitely add the ambient lighting. I think it might be 500, 800 quid maybe as an optional extra, but it's definitely worth it, especially if you're in your car at night. It just brings it to life a bit more, and it's just a nice finishing touch. So I think that is probably the only thing out of everything that this car is missing. It's got the adaptable seats, which are so comfortable. It's got the heated steering wheel, whereas if you own a Porsche, you'll know where this is hidden. If you don't, it's literally on your steering wheel right at the back. You click the button here, turn it on, and you click it, turn it back off. It's nicely hidden away. Nice cool feature about that there. But yeah, I think, you know, I've talked quite a bit about it. It's got literally everything. Apple CarPlay, literally. So interior wise, pretty much spec'd. Apart from the line, how I would have spec'd it. So thumbs up for that as well. Right, now let's get into the fun stuff, the performance. Woo! Let me tell you something. For a car this size, it shouldn't move like this. The pickup is on point. As soon as you put your foot down, it is ready to go. The engine roars at you at every opportunity, and it gives you great driver feedback. And yeah, as I said, for a car this size, it just feels like an absolute animal. The throttle response is as you'd expect from a Porsche, on the money. And yeah, the driver feedback, as I said, you know, a car this size, you point it and it goes. It's mind-blowing. And for what you know technically is classed as the lighter option in the Porsche Cayenne range, as this is only the S, it delivers way above expectations. And having a Macan GTS before this, you know, I had a good feel for a sports performance Porsche SUV, and this one I feel ticks even more of the boxes. It really pulls when you want it to. You feel even more grounded, even though you're higher up. And it's handling. The handling of a car like this is ridiculous. Like you don't ever feel like there's too much roll. You feel like you're planted. You feel like you've got the right grip. You can accelerate out of corners as it's four-wheel drive. You can accelerate with so much confidence. And yeah, it's just one of those things when you're driving it and you want to put your foot down. You know, you've got the confidence. You know, especially if you've got the ability, if you know how to handle cars like this, it just ticks all the boxes from what you want in performance. The straight line speed is what can I say, really? It is something else. You know, there's many times, you know, people you know, want to have a go on a straight line. You know, they see a Porsche, they want to get a bit excited. You know, you tap the throttle response and you're off. You know, you leave people that, and it's mind blowing. Because you're like, how does a car this big move like this? You know, it's literally, yeah. I mean, as I said, it's one of the best SUVs I have driven by a long way. You can take corners with will, you can glide through. Yeah, great driver feedback. And you've got multiple modes. You've got an individual where you can set your own mode. You've got your sports, you've got your sports plus. And when you switch different modes, you get a little notification. The suspension's lowering, you know, giving you that much more tightness, that much more of a sporty feel and control over the car as well. This has got the air suspension, so it just lowers down when you need it to, and it's remarkable. But you know, as good as the performance is, as a daily driver, it's very comfortable. So when you're driving in normal mode, you can cruise around town easily. No problems, no uncomfortable parts to it at all. But then as soon as you want to put your foot down, as soon as you want to give it a go, you whack it in Sports Plus, or you put your individual mode on, and yeah, you go for it. Right, so it's launch time. It's time to see what this can actually really do in real world, 0 to 60. On paper, as I said, 5.2 seconds. I've got the Draggy. We're going to give it some runs, and let's see if we can beat 5.2. Let's get going. That was quick. Come on, there we go. That was fast. That was fast. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that was fast. That was a good one. Yeah, it just the four wheels just get the grip straight away. You know, four-wheel drive, traction down. Yeah, that was quicker than 5.2. I've been in a 5.2 car before. That was much quicker. Go on. Yeah. That was the second run now we've done. The first one wasn't as clean as that, so I think the first one might have probably been a slow one. That one there, I'm feeling good about that one. So let's just talk about this car in terms of value for money. It's definitely, you definitely get, you know, your penny, every penny's worth of this car you get. You know, when you look at the prices, especially for the used, they might seem a bit high. But the used market has gone crazy at the moment. But the one thing you know when you're getting with this car is you're getting value for money, performance, looks, interior, reliability. You're getting the works. So you know you're not going to be missing out. You're not going to be getting, you know, a bad deal for the price you pay. Another good thing is these cars, Porsches in general, not just Cayennes, but Porsches in general, they hold their money. So you know when you buy it, it's not going to bottom out, you're not going to lose loads of money in depreciation. You might lose a bit, or in today's market, you might gain a bit. So I've looked at what I pay for this car, what it's worth now, it's actually gone up. So if you're into the business of, you know, getting in cars quickly in and out, you can time the market very well with a car like this. So I've actually got more money now that I can take out the car than I put in. And it's, you know, if you're looking to buy a car for long term or short term, you can't go wrong with the value for money. And as I said, the product you're getting, the quality of the car you're getting for what you pay is worth it. So I can't fault the value on this at all. The only thing that's going to burn your pocket really is the petrol. Petrol prices have gone crazy, which doesn't help, especially as this car politely asks you for V-Power, nothing but the best. At the moment it's 162, so you're going to get burnt on that, and it's going to drink it. You know, as soon as you put your foot down, it's going to drink it, as I said earlier. But yeah, value for money, you know, absolutely worth the money. So let's get into the 3 things that I love about this car. So number 1 has to be the performance. Let me tell you, for a car this size, it is remarkable how it moves around corners, how it picks up speed, gives you confidence, gives you great driver feedback, and you're not going to buy a car like this if it doesn't perform how you want it to perform. Let's just be honest. This car has enough gadgets with the different options, the sports options, with the full throttle response. It just sounds as well, the engine tones you get back, the feedback you get, and inside it sounds remarkable. Outside the sound isn't great because of the filters, but inside you hear the roar of the engine, you hear the sounds of the V6. It is something special. So number 1 reason why I love this car is the performance, hands down. So I would say the second thing that I love about this car is the exterior and how it looks. The front is traditionally Porsche, which you never want to lose, and the back, the way the back's been redone in new Cayenne, it looks so more aggressive, it looks modern, and I love the way it looks. The way it's been finished with the black package and the black colour, it just looks mean, it looks sinister, it looks like a proper beast, and that's what you want from a performance SUV. You want it to look mean and look aggressive. There's no point buying a car if you don't like how it looks. It may drive great, the interior might be fantastic, but if you don't like how it looks on the outside, there's bits you don't like, if it's not going to make you turn your head around and look at it after you park it up, then there's no point. The third thing that I love about this car has to be the interior. I mean, as I said before, it's a very special place to be, and I just love what they've done with the interiors of the new Porsches. This has come from the Panamera, and it works well. I love the clickable pads. I love how you can just switch through your options on the dashboard. It's actually got a heads-up display, which is nice to have. It's not something I would say you have to spec on it, but it's always good to have a heads-up display. You know, you can look through the windscreen, you can see everything right in front of you as well. And just, yeah, it's comfortable, it's solid, it's built, you know, to very high standards, no rattles, nothing falling apart. The piano black finish is amazing, and I think, yeah, it's just a special place to be. I've been in cars where I'm not a fan of the interiors, but it looks great on the outside and it drives well, so I've lived with it. But here, you know, it's one of the first things anyone says when they get in this car is, wow, this cabin is amazing. And literally it gives you that feeling every time you step into it. It gives you that wow factor. So yeah, the third thing that I love about this car, it's not the most important thing what I look for, but for this car is what I love, and it is the interior finish. It is absolutely remarkable. Let's move on to the 3 things that I hate about this car. Don't really hate anything, if I'm honest, so let's just say the 3 things I dislike. The first thing I say I dislike is probably the exhaust system. You know, with these new filters that have come in, it really quietens how the exhaust sounds and makes them sound like, you know, sick kittens. It doesn't sound great. In the inside, the roar, you feel it, you hear it, but on the outside, when you rev, let's give you an example now. Let's give it a go. I mean, especially coming from a rowdy M3 tuned with all the pops and the bangs and everything, you know, inside it sounds good, but yeah, the outside, from the outside it doesn't sound great, you know. So I think for me that's a massive dislike. Obviously there can be things done, you know, you can play around with exhausts, aftermarket exhausts if you want to have some more sound, but then if you're going to do that, you might risk ruin your warranty. And you definitely want a Porsche warranty, trust me on that one. I found out that before with my previous Macan GTS, so I didn't have that warranty. Woo! My pockets would have been burning. So if you are going to play around with exhaust, make sure you can do it where you don't mess up your warranty, or you can cover yourself. But yeah, that's the one thing. That's probably the highest thing I dislike about this car is the fact the exhaust sounds not that great. So the second thing that I dislike about this car has got to be the fuel efficiency, and it is by far the worst car I've had for fuel efficiency. Now that's saying something considering the cars that I've had. I mean, I feel like I'm in a petrol station every other day with this one. Not that it's a surprise, because you wouldn't buy a car like this expecting it to be economical, getting 40, 50, 60 miles per gallon. So that's not going to happen in a car like this. On paper, Porsche gets 30 miles per gallon. That's a lie. You get about 17, 18 just doing normal driving. As soon as you start putting your foot down and having a bit of a go, it's going to drop right down to probably about 13. I mean, as I said, you don't expect it to be great, so it is what it is. But, it's a dislike of the car, right? I mean, considering the other cars I've had before, for this to be the worst fuel efficiency, it's a bit annoying, but I can live with it because I love the car, I love the performance. I can't drive it without putting my foot down. I mean, let's be honest, you don't buy a car like this to drive drive slow and cruise around town. You might as well get something else. So it comes with the territory of these type of cars. You live with it, don't you? So the third thing that I say I dislike about this car, and it's not for the Cayenne range, it's specific to this car, it's just the wheels. What can I say? I love black wheels on my cars. The fact it's got the silver diamond cut alloys on it, I'm not a fan. When I look at it makes me shudder a bit just seeing them, to be honest with you. I know some people are a fan of those wheels, but yeah, they need to be blacked out, and then that can go off the dislike list and probably go onto the love list and finish the car off how it should be. So yeah, that's the only thing. It's only specific to this car, so it's not anything against the Cayenne range at all. It's very hard, I'll be honest with you, it's very hard to pick faults in this car for a car this good. You feel like you're nitpicking at little things, really, and that wheel issue is specific to this car because Porsche have some amazing alloys. The GT alloys are exceptional. The alloys you get on the Cayenne Turbo S just look fantastic. You wouldn't need to do anything to them. So yeah, it's just the wheels specific to this car, but overall, what can I say? It's very hard to find faults with this car. So there we have it. Owner's review of the Porsche Cayenne S. After thinking about everything, after owning it for 3 months, I have to say this is definitely the best SUV I've had. Best SUV. I wouldn't say it's the best SUV I've driven, because if you want to have thrill, you go for the Turbo S. There's other high performing SUVs out there than the Cayenne S. But as a daily driver, with great performance, very, very practical, very comfortable, amazing interior, looks great. This is pretty much as good as it gets. So in terms of my verdict, I would give this car thumbs up massively. You would not be disappointed if you're in the market for an SUV with performance. You would not be disappointed at all with this Porsche Cayenne S, with all the nice little optional extras on it as well, which you need. The sports chrono package. Please, please, please do not ever get a Porsche without sports chrono. The pan roof adds nice interior feel to it as well. The interior cabin already comes remarkable as well. You can get your little extras like heated things here and there, the leather finish, so it's got no plastic around it as well. And then the exterior, it's all down to personal choice, but standard they come looking great. You can personalise them, we can look for the spec you want, but overall this SUV ticks the boxes. I can't really say much more, to be honest, apart from, if you're in the market for SUV, definitely test drive one of these, have a think about it. But apart from that, thanks for listening, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please like, please subscribe, and if there's anything you feel about the Cayenne that I've missed, please let me know in the comments, and if there's better SUVs, let me know in the comments. So once again, guys, thanks for watching.